know right now today, there's things that you can put in place to help these kids and these men and women easily.
Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. So I'm going to be doing another commentary on one of Kwame Brown's older videos, and this is actually continuing from a video I started because it was a pretty long, about half an hour, a little bit over half hour. So I wanted to break it down into sections and talk about some of the points he brought up, some of the things he's talking about. And remember, this is from August of last year. So this will give you some insight. This will give you some insight into what Kwame Brown has been doing and why he's doing what he's doing right now, which is great because he's got eyes on him. He's got a lot of attention on him, and he's the ideas he's already had, the ideas he's already been putting out there are now reaching so many more people, and people are listening. People are paying attention, but we need more people listening. We need more people paying attention. We need action being taken to make sure that this goal of improving our community actually happens, that we can actually make things happen, because there are people who don't want to see things happen. But without further ado, let's listen to Kwame.
So I just wish that if y'all gonna speak all this history and all this shit, Marty, I challenge you to tell these young black men what you've done. Tell them your educational background and see if there's a line with yours. Tell them where you work and see if they're striving to do what you're doing. Everybody that talk all this weak shit, tell them the steps that you took to become successful. Why can't we do that? Let's break it down 50-50. Those who have made it, let's start posting on Facebook what were the steps, whether through education or hard fucking work. Let's start telling these young people what it is that you did to make it. Let's start holding little seminars, and let's start putting back into our communities, not these little fake ass mentor programs. I've been to all your mentor programs, and I'm here to tell you, congressman, commissioner, all of you, that shit don't work. That is a nice gesture, and all you motherfuckers want to do is nice gestures. Let me tell you what happened when you send a kid like me to a mentor program. I go to your mentor program. I'm not really listening to you because, motherfucker, I know you just here to collect the check. I know you don't like me. Because if you like me, you'd take me out of the home that I lived in, motherfucker. You thought I wanted to go back there with police kicking in my goddamn door, people outside fighting and shooting. So you're going to show me that it's a better life, feed me sandwiches and shit, give me juice, talk all this nice shit, and then send me back to the lion's den. What you did was made me more vulnerable to the people that wasn't in the damn program. That's all you did. Now, when I start trying to introduce new ideals to people that wasn't in the program, this nigga talking white. This nigga right here talking white. So now I got to put my left hip hook on display because although I might be talking a little white, this left hook still awesome. So what you've created was animosity. So those little bullshit programs don't work.
He's got several points here that are just really need to be heeded, really need to be taken into consideration, and really need to be put into implementation, need to be implemented. We need to be helping the young people. We need to be saying, if there's a path out, if we found, and so last week I was talking about how not everybody can go through the NBA, and right, but see, this is the same video. So that was in reference to one of the things he had mentioned in that video about, I got out, I did it. So that's just, there's only but so many people that can get out and succeed the way he did. But he's making that point that, okay, I got out one way, so I can go out and speak about one possible path to success. How did you get out? How did you succeed? How did you get to the next level? That's something you need to be coming out here, telling these kids, telling these young people how they can follow your path, how you did it, how you managed to succeed. That's critical, because there are other ways out there. But if these kids don't know they exist, these kids they will either, one, think there's no way out, or take any way that they see provided for them out, no matter how negative. Because remember, if the doctor, if the kid that came from the hood and became a renowned doctor, pulling down over $200,000 a year, owns several properties, just living nice and good. If he comes back and tells kids, oh, okay, this is how you get to this level. Okay, so now kids can say, okay, this is what I got to do. I got to strive, boom, 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 get there. Some kids are like, I'm not really feeling that way. So somebody else can say, oh, well, I'm a stockbroker. Boom, I run a hedge fund. This is how I did it. Boom, boom, boom. Another pathway. But without those individuals coming back to show these kids a path, what do kids have? The path being shown to them from the public schools that we're going to is, and once you graduate, you can get a job at McDonald's. You could get a job at Walmart or at Target for minimum wage. That's your path. That's the path they're being shown by the system. However, that's when the cat's on the corner, that cat that pulls up driving a new Range Rover says, nah, there's a better way. I'm making a lot of money. Move these packs. And then we get mad at these kids and think these kids are knuckleheads. No, they're looking for a way out. And they realize that Target, McDonald's, that's not working. They haven't seen the paths out as a viable course for them from the doctor or the stockbroker, but they've seen that kid pull up in the new whip. And they're like, okay, that's a way out. They're being smart enough to realize that, hey, I want out. I'm going to try to find a way out. Of course, there's a lot of pitfalls with that, but they want more. And if we're not showing them more, if we're not providing them a pathway to more, if we're just just abandoning them to the system that doesn't give a damn about them, then how could we possibly be surprised that they pick that other path? What we call the easy way out, the quick way out. Nothing easy or quick about it. But it's a way out, and they're right to be looking for it. They're right to be looking for a way out. But we've got to show them, okay, listen, I get that's a way out. And quite frankly, maybe it should be a way out. But right now, there's also a lot of pitfalls with that. Because the dude you don't see, who was moving packs before this guy that pulled up in the new whip, he's in the feds. He's doing 25. He didn't even kill anybody. But they just hit him with enough weight that, boom, they got him doing 25 years in the feds right now. So by the time he gets out, the world have changed. He will have no ability to get he'll have little to no ability to. Now he'll be starting back where you were, where you didn't want to go to Target or McDonald's. So now, and I'm not condoning what they're doing to these men and young women getting sent in for moving weight, whatever. I'm saying that's the reality. We have to let them know what's really going on. And I like what he's saying because he's saying if you're sending him back to the hood. So you need people that have been there. You need people that maybe still are there, but that know what it's like. Because if you're sending them from some dude that doesn't know what it's like to struggle inside the hood, never lived there, he's going to send them with all these talking points and stuff. And they're going to go back. And like you said, they're going to have trouble. And people will be like, nah, man, why do you want to be corny like that? Because they're not going to respect that dude. They've never seen that dude. They don't know. They've never seen that life. And it seems foreign to them. It seems weak to them. But you need people who've been through it to come back to these kids and say, okay, look, I get why you want to do it. I get why you want to move weight. I get why you want to carry that pack. I get why you want, and you're not wrong to want better things. You're not wrong to want more. But you have to make sure that the way you're doing it is actually going to work and result in you getting more. Let me show you how I did it. Let me show you how I did it. Let me show you where it got me to. And then let me show you what the downsides is of what I'm showing you. And then we can take a look at the downsides of the other stuff you're considering. Because now we can take a look at you want to hang out with that dude on the corner. Let me show you the downsides of that too. And then you can make a determination which path seems smarter for you.
Why don't you bring a guy like me in to help you with some of these programs you want to put in place? If you really wanted to help these programs, you would make their home environment safe. Those same police that you put on the corner after you regentrify a neighborhood to make it safe for white people to buy dogs, those are the same police you should put in the damn hood. Because not everybody real. Not everybody banging. It's some people that just live in the hood because they don't have money to go nowhere else. So put those same police, number one, on every goddamn street corner, same way that you do when it's time to regentrify Harlem and Brooklyn and all these places that you take over. After the niggas who shooting run the property value so down so low that you guys can get it for pennies on a dollar. So for one, let's put the police everywhere like we're supposed to. Not defund, put more so there ain't no more shooting. So these kids can live a safe and healthy life. Number two, let their daddies come back into their fucking house. Stop incentivizing women to have babies and keep giving them more shit. Because while you're giving them more shit, these women, some of them are at the fucking club while these babies are being raised by their older siblings. That's number two. Number three, put the sports and recreation department together along with some type of skills and etiquette training. Do you hear how our young people are speaking now? How can you get a job when you over here, yeah, bro, you do the fuck shit, bro? How you gonna get a job talking like that? See, we're not even ready for the type of shit that we talking about because we so busy pointing the goddamn finger at somebody that y'all not seeing that our morals and our characters are going to shit. Because when you point a finger, look how many fucking fingers pointing right back at you.
So he mentioned three things. And, he mentioned refunding the police, things with this, with allowing fathers to come back in the home, not incentivizing single motherhood, and thirdly, coupling, recreation programs with actual skills training. And I want to touch on those three things because so I get why it's absolutely necessary that we need safer environments for our kids. And for you, because number one, it's not even about beyond even learning, being able to learn and focus on learning and being able to grow up, well-adjusted and happy. That requires some type of security, some kind of safety. Like it also requires actually being alive. So we've got incidents of, young people just being snuffed out. Some cases they're the target, but in a lot of cases they're not the target. I mean, in like, okay, I can remember, right, not too far from where I live, they got this young man, Junior, like, and he wasn't even the dude they were after. They just chopped him up, took him outside, and chopped him up, and boom, oh, he wasn't the guy they was looking for. They murdered this young man, boom, and he wasn't even the guy and so now he doesn't get to grow up. Then you've got, other kids getting shot. You just recently, a 10-year-old just shot a stray bullet because you got cats shooting at each other, not hitting the targets, and everybody else in the vicinity is at risk and getting shot. And so, yeah, we definitely need safer communities because one, we want kids to be able to be alive. Two, having a safer environment enables them to have fun, to grow, to learn, and to not have to deal with that trauma that's going to stunt them from, being able to grow and develop properly. I mean, if they're busy just trying to survive, they're not going to be able to put as much energy as in mind and of their energy into learning and into becoming a more well-rounded person, because now they're scared. Like that drastically impacts their ability to do anything, to live. Now they're just trying to survive as opposed to being able to thrive. That being said, I don't think more cops on the street are the answer. I don't think turning our cities, our communities into occupied territory is the answer. Bringing in outsiders, because he mentions about a different type of cop. So he mentions, the cops that be in these gentrified areas, the friendly cops, officer friendly, hi, how you doing? Now what I think he doesn't realize is officer friendly is officer friendly when he's in the white suburbs. When officer friendly comes down to, Red Hook, when he's in East New York, when he's in the South Bronx, he's still, his name is officer friendly, but he doesn't act too friendly. Like it's the same officers, but their mind shifts, their the entire way that they're acting shifts. That being said, if you want somebody in that community protecting that community who actually cares about that community, we in the community need to be the ones doing that. So we in the community need to be the ones, boom, getting together, making sure everything's safe. If there's individuals in this community making things unsafe, okay, we got to have some sit downs. Like, no, dudes, you got kids in this community trying to grow up. Y'all got to stop the nonsense. And I believe it's going to take just a mindset of discarding these cats that are, like I said, there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. We have to understand what that reasoning is. And because we actually give a damn, we need to be communicating with them, sitting with them, and like, hey, this is what needs to happen. Like, you if you want to make money, make your money, but you can't be hurting the community. Like you want to do your thing. Now the community can just sit back and we're not interested in seeing you go to prison if you're not hurting anybody. Like, we're not interested in sending you up the river if you're just in the community doing what you're doing and not hurting anybody, not harming the youth. In fact, if you're out there on the corner making sure these youth stay, are safe, nobody's hurting them, that's even better. You look out for your community looks out for you. Like, these are the kind of conversations that need to be had. And it's going to take dudes that have been in the lifestyle to be able to broker these kinds of conversations. And like, okay, this is, and that's something that needs to be taking place locally. Like, you can't just institute, because these youngins that are out here, wilding out, there's old heads that they respect. A lot of these old heads are still inside. Some of these old heads are now coming home, but these are the ones that we need to say, okay, boom, you understand these kids. Boom, you need to be able to use your influence, your reputation to get these kids in line. Like, okay, no, yeah, there's a way to do this and a way not to do this. And harming our own communities cannot be tolerated. That, I think, is the only solution, because having outside, law enforcement, government agents coming in, like, we have no control over it. Like, once they come in, they do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it. Like, we've seen that time and time again. Like, people have turned to the government to solve these problems, and things have gotten worse. They turned to the government in the 80s. What happened? Things got worse. Mass incarceration. Fathers were being ripped away from their kids. Now you have these kids are out there wilding out. Boom. That it got worse. So just having the occupying forces on the corners, that's not going to work. And if you take a look at it, these white communities aren't doing that. They got their kids is out there getting hooked on meth and heroin. And what's their response? Their response isn't, oh, we need more police. Their response is, no, we need to treat this as a health crisis. We can't be quick to use these methods that don't work and to abandon, even those in our community who may be a little bit, who may be doing things, real dangerous things, living dangerously and putting people at risk. We got to reach out to them. We can't just write them off. Like, especially many of them are young. Many of them are young and just haven't been shown the way, haven't been shown love, haven't been shown any understanding, and they're hurting. We have to acknowledge that and reach out to them, help them. We can't throw these youths away. But bringing the fathers in home, that's part of it. Like, that's like what I'm talking about. We can't have this mentality of, oh, we need more laws, because that's part of the thing that's ripping. Because a lot of people will talk about welfare and, these requirements is what's pulling fathers out the home. And they don't want to talk about mass incarceration, all these extra laws that the government is using to rip fathers out of the home. Like, they're not talking about that, but that's a reality. That's why a lot of these fathers, boom, they're upstate. They in the feds. Nah, like, we need the fathers not to be getting locked up for stupid stuff. And we need to be providing solutions, because look, that's an interesting point. He's saying about not incentivizing these women to have, kids and kick their fathers out and just keep having kids. So we see what happens when the government gets involved. So, like, we can't think in step one, government's the answer. In step two, government is the problem and not realize, wait a minute, government's always been the problem. Government's been the problem in both of these instances. So we've got to provide the solutions, but it's going to take work. We got, and that's why it's so important for us to step up, because it's going to take work, because it's going to take us to actually step up and actually put in some serious work to make sure that we're providing solutions that the government keeps screwing up. Somehow, some way, the government keeps screwing up these solutions. So we need to be providing these solutions so that it gets done right. So we need these young girls. We need to make sure they're good, they're taken care of, like whether that's, putting charities together and stopping or education, like teaching these girls, like, okay, listen, you've got a future ahead of you. Like, you having a kid at 14, that's definitely going to limit your options. But that's going to take the community coming together to help them. And the education part, definitely, of course, because we need kids are kids. We need to be providing them the ability to be kids and enjoy their lives. Because if we expect them to just sit down and read books all day, we're depriving them of well-rounded childhoods. We need to let them have fun. They want to have fun. They got the energy. They can run around. Let them do stuff that they can have fun and be productive. So let them have the recreation programs. Let's create recreation programs, and let's invest in volunteer for these recreation programs so that these kids can get out there, can play sports, can do just fun things, whether it be hiking or whatever, all kinds of stuff that we can help them do. Nature, there's all kinds of things that we can be helping these kids, having some fun, and boom, add some educational components to it so that they can actually have their fun and be learning, either at the same time or in addition to. But these are things that we definitely need to be doing as a community to improve our young people's futures.
The reason why it's so hard for these educated people to talk to me and get on my live, because I don't want to hear the history bullshit. I know right now, today, there's things that you can put in place to help these kids and these men and women easily. But it's too much money in keeping people fucked up. Why would I give you the cure for your headache? Why wouldn't I just give you Tylenol, some shit you're going to have to come by again as soon as you get another fucking headache?
And that's key, because that's what government does. Government isn't interested in solving the problems. Government is interested in managing the problems. And there's a huge profit motive in that. But people act like there's only profit motive in private entities. No, there's a huge profit motive in the way government operates, because government will take money and then hand it out to friends, special interests. So these politicians get in office, they'll take money and they'll tax the hell out of you and use your tax money to just siphon it off to their friends who are running a nonprofit over here, a charity organization over there. And none of these are actually working or providing, a bunch of these aren't actually working and aren't providing valuable services. They're just pretending to, but they're getting paid. They're getting government money, government grants, government taxpayer money that's being stolen from your pocket, being siphoned to these friends of these politicians, the connected ones, and nothing's getting solved. They're just making it look good. It's something that the politician can then say, oh yes, this is what I'm running on. This is what I've done. I've put, $20 million into I put $1 billion into mental health services. And the question is, well, what did the $1 billion get us? Nothing. So in other words, you just laundered $1 billion.
There is no money in curing your black ass. So if you think that the government, the reason why I always talk about personal responsibility, because I'm not going to say that this is a white racist world and a white racist society, and then turn right back around and beg these same white people that I just called racist. To me, that's stupid as fuck.
Yes.
If I truly believe that there's a systemic racism, but I live in this world, then that means I'm going to bear most of the responsibility, because I don't trust your racist white ass.
Exactly. Why we should not be giving more power to a system that is intent on destroying us. That makes no sense. But this is what the most of these politicians are pushing to us. This is the lie, the simple, the completely backwards ideas that they're pushing to most of us to get us to get on board with just ridiculous policies. Oh yeah, the system is racist. The system is killing you. The system is destroying you. Let's take more taxes so we can give more money to the system.
If that's what I'm saying, why am I going to believe the same people that I'm calling racist is going to do anything that's going to support and help my black ass? Like, it's making no sense. You niggas want to talk out of both sides of the goddamn neck. So take more responsibility in building yourselves, your community, your people. Now, instead of going down to burn down the police station and city hall and all these places, you need to go down there and threaten to burn that shit down if they don't put more police on your corners so these niggas can stop shooting and hitting babies through fucking windows. That's what you should be going down there demanding. But no, we want to go down there and give somebody some fucking guilt. Instead of going down there demanding that we have free football programs, free baseball programs, and free skills and reading and achievement programs for these kids, along with some etiquette and life skills and business training, no, we don't teach them that. We spend more time teaching kids about race and about white privilege. How the fuck is that going to teach them how to manage a checkbook?
Yeah, I think it's important to be teaching our kids about the realities of the society. But I think it's just as, if not more important, to be teaching our kids how to overcome the realities of the society. So telling the kids the problem, oh yeah, these people are still racist, this government is so racist, there's these institutions are so racist, and then not giving them any information on how to navigate that, how to overcome it. And I'm not saying like telling them how to get people not to be racist. I'm telling how to get it so that it doesn't stop you, how to maneuver around it. Like there's ways, there's techniques, there's logic, being smarter, being able to see when somebody's up to no good and like, okay, I know I can't trust this person, but I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to sidestep this person and make sure that I'm protected and I can get to this next level without their interference, because they're going to try to throw obstacles in my way. And these are lessons we need to be telling our kids. There are certain obstacles they're going to try to toss in our way. Here's how to navigate them and beat these racists at their own game. Because there are racists out there that are going to try to stop you. How do you beat them? That's what we need to be talking about. Not that they're out there. How do we beat them? And whether they're trying to throw obstacles in our way because they're racist or just because they hate us personally, it doesn't matter. We need to be teaching our kids how to overcome obstacles, how to navigate toxic people, how to beat them, how not to let other people's agendas stop us from getting to where we need to go.
All these people, these big law degrees that like to get on my line and talk all this negative shit. How many young ladies have you mentored up and taught how to become a lawyer? I challenge all of you, with all this education you got, let's get a building. I got a building in Brunswick. Donate, volunteer your time. Teach these kids what you've done to become successful. Oh, you can't do that? Oh, you want to be Black Lives Matter, Wakanda? You just want to make a bunch of fucking noise. Because I had example after example, myself and most people included. No one wants to hear your fake bullshit. If you're a successful person, tell us how you did it, despite of all the history that you're going to keep regurgitating. Tell me how you came successful, because remember, each one teach one. So what the fuck are you teaching? Oh, white people did this back in the day in 1871. White people did that. You motherfuckers are so good at history. What about right now? Let's stop mentioning white folks. What are we going to do to build ourselves up first?
And that's the key. That's the key. That's what we need to be focused on. What are we going to do to build ourselves up? This can't be about white people, what white people are doing, how much white people hate us, will they accept us? So I get frustrated seeing people talk about, oh, we need to stop racism. Racism needs to be a priority. Racism is horrible. Racism is bad. Racism can have very real effects on our lives. But what is racism? Racism is somebody's state of mind. I can't control their minds. What I can control is how their actions affect my life. I have more control over that and making sure that their actions don't have a negative effect on my life. These are the things I can navigate. These are the things I need to be focused on. These are the things I need to be working on so that, one, I'm not getting tripped up by people that hate me. 2, my children aren't getting tripped up by people that hate them. And 3, my progeny, our future leaders, our future warriors, our future providers have more resources to be able to protect themselves and our community against those who wish them harm. Have more resources, more power, more ability, so that what other people think doesn't matter. That's the point. Power. We need more power to make sure that what anybody else is doing or doesn't like, that's their problem. We're good. If you want to, if you want to unite with us, you want to work with us, you want to, we can be best of friends. But if you want to hate us, you don't want to see us shine. Okay, stay the hell away from us. We'll be over here living our lives in peace. And if you decide to come over here with some nonsense, we will be prepared to protect ourselves and what we've built. That's what it needs to be focused on. But I really like a lot of the things he's talking about. And I think that, see, like, even if you disagree with some of the things he said, like I said, I think there's certain things that could be, these are discussions that need to be had. So we need to be implementing them. So, okay, so he says he thinks that the police need to be there. Cool. If he thinks that's a good idea, and I think that there's a better way, then it's up to me to start implementing my way, especially since my way doesn't involve government. So I don't need a law passed for me to start reaching out and start like, okay, yo, the hood cats, the cats on the corner. Hey, what's going on? Right now, the safety concerns. Let's sit down. Let's have a talk. How do we get, there is a way. How do we get to a way where y'all get to do what y'all want to do? Y'all make your money, whatever, but we're not putting these kids at risk. We're having a safer environment so that, any drama going on between you and whomever isn't putting them at risk. We're going to figure out a way that we can do this so that you can thrive, you be good, because, hey, it's in your best interest too. Because if there's shootings, if there's bodies dropping, cops is coming. You don't want the cops here. We don't want the cops here. It's best for all of us. It's best for all of us if everything remains safe and they can just stay in there, they can hang out at Krispy Kreme. Hey, I used to hang out at Krispy Kreme too. So I know I just hit a stereotype, but Krispy Kreme is good. As always, if you like my content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share. If you disagree with what I'm saying, feel free to give me the thumbs down, but say why. Because this, I'm looking at the time. This has been a long video, and there may be certain things you disagree with, certain things you agree with. Let me know in the comment section, and I can address them below. Because I know there are people who will say, no, getting cops out, and we can disagree. We can have these discussions. We can talk about these things, and that's what we need to be doing. So thank you for checking out the channel. Thank you for checking out this episode. I'll see you next time.